Welcome to BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the people's channel, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs, even though it's feeling like it's about the size of a church small group right now. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto. And don't forget, right off the rip, do us a favor, smash that like button. We have Crypto Life on today. It's first time on the morning stream. Right. So very interested, been all around the blockchain a lot of times. Really enjoy this guy's takes on things. He's definitely knows what he's talking about. So we're going to have an expert, that's supposed to say expert take up there. I got to remember. Yeah, we got to change it. So he'll be on the show here in a few minutes. Guys, my name is Ben. Come to you live every single day, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is May 10th, Tuesday, May 10th. And man, did we have people getting wrecked yesterday? I mean, that was unbelievable. What is really getting wrecked? I mean, if you were longing yesterday, you got wrecked for sure.
Getting wrecked is losing all your value when you're in your stable coin. That's getting wrecked. That's about as wrecked as it can go.
Man, it reminded me of when I was in that moon swap. You know, I was in moon swap. It was this coin. I was yield farming. I was earning so many coins, and yet the value was dropping 50% every day of the token. So that, you know, if you are getting 18% interest on a stable coin that drops 40%, you did not make money.
I want to know who bought Terra at 60, 70 cents for, you know, an easy slam dunk.
Oh, I would have been all over that if I actually did things like buy crypto. Right. You know, like we have people that do that for us here. But it's a big process when we want to buy stuff. I know. Here. That's the thing about having. Look, we're basically a bureaucracy.
I was gonna say centralization.
Centralization is finest. Yeah, we a bunch of red tape around here, yellow tape, Tim tape, all kinds of tape. Got to ask my dad for allowance around here. But you know, it is what it is, guys. Yesterday, and I made this tweet. I talked about it on Around the Blockchain yesterday. I feel great about crypto right now. I really do. I think we are going through a time that we needed. You know, there was always going to be a bear market. Don't get confused. People, you know, told you last year it was not coming. You know, you had people like Michael Saylor that I just can't imagine the prices going down from here. Basically, it was this. We like Michael Saylor. I'm not saying anything bad about him. And you know, we told you we were going to get a regular bear market, and people laughed at us. And too much adoption, guys. We're here, you know, and we now have plunged below $30,000. We hit 29,700. We've not hit new lows yet, but we are extremely close to it. And I think that everybody sees the writing on the wall. It is most likely coming. I do not believe that we are getting a bounce here and we're heading back up. And we're going to be back at all-time highs. We're going to have some videos for you guys next week where we're going to be discussing the potential for the ETH merge to pull the market up. I think it's possible. I don't think it's likely. I think it's probably, you know, more likely that it doesn't than it does. We're going to be able to give you that scenario where you can look at, you know, some hopium, right? Because we need hopium. You got to have the hopium. Got to have the hopium of the XRP case ending, the SEC, you know, capitulating. We'll have the hopium of the midterms. We'll have the hopium of the ETH merge. We'll have the hopium of a spot ETF, which was the same hopium we had 4 years ago. You got to have that stuff to get you through, because if you really just believe that there's 0% chance that the prices are going to go back up before the halving in 2024, then that's pretty bleak. We at least need some hope, but you know, most likely we're going to be down for a while here. Clay Thomas with a $50 super chat. Thanks for all you do from South Georgia. Well, we love our South Georgia people. We're up here in North Georgia ourselves. So, Ben, you big time moon boy. That's the comment here. Yeah. Guys, people who call me a moon boy, they don't know what they're talking about. These are people that saw the way we talk about crypto in a bull market. The way we talk about crypto in a bear market is much different. We give you a much more realistic view of what is going on, I think, than a lot of other channels. I mean, a lot of other channels have been devastated by this drop, and we've been telling you since January to expect probably a big move down. In April, about a month ago, we told you it's officially a bear market, and then after that, things really went haywire, and they've gone sideways here. We had some hopium based on the invasion that happened in February that maybe things could be heading back in the right direction. Up through the Bitcoin conference, they were moving kind of maybe in the right direction. But overall, we've been telling you for a while now, buckle in, because it's going to get bumpy. I mean, just on Sunday, I tweeted, if you go to my Twitter, BitBoy_crypto, you guys can see that I tweeted this on Sunday. Where is it? Tomorrow is going to be wild. Set it on Sunday. And then look, a day later, we got the gigantic drop down. So I wanted to find that Big Ched's tweet again about, do the opposite of what he says. April 12th, I told you guys, official bear market. If you longed during that time, you have been liquidated. So, the 4-year cycles have not led us astray so far, and that's what we stick to on this channel. But guys, overall, I feel good about where things are. I don't feel negative about the market. I don't think the markets are going to turn around anytime soon, but this is healthy. We need some capitulation from some dumb money in the space. We need some capitulation from some projects that are bringing zero value to the space. They serve no purpose. All Shiba is doing is sucking money away from projects that could actually be flourishing and doing better. And we need that equilibrium to swing back the other way. Also, guys, I do want to, tomorrow is going to be wild, can mean anything. Yeah, but I'm telling you, that is what I meant. Like, as soon as the stock market was going to open the next day, we were going to see things start to come down. It was Sunday I tweeted that because Monday the market's open. That's what it was. So go find another place where I tweeted that. That's what I'll say. But you're right. It could have meant anything, but it didn't. That's exactly what I meant. All right, so guys, I also want to tell you guys that I did rename my Instagram account, my personal Instagram account where we do non-crypto stuff. Instead of dad jokes for the win, if you pop that up on the screen, there you go. I renamed it to Ben Armstrong Actually. I wanted to spell it AKSHUALLY, but I didn't. Just so it's easier for people to find me. So this is official. I probably need to go through the process of trying to get this verified on there, so that way we don't have impersonators and scammers trying to pretend to be me. But this is just where I take, personal photos, me playing poker, sports games, coaching my kids. The BitBoy Bombers softball team, we're 5-2. 5-2. We're in 5th place right now.
Big game tomorrow, right?
Yeah, game tomorrow night. We'll crush that team tomorrow night. But we had we lost last week by 1 run in the last inning because of the umpire. So me and Jay Chains both almost got thrown out of the game. So I was like pitching a fit. I was cussing. I was mad, because a terrible call. It ended up costing us 3 runs because it was the 3rd out, and they got 3 runs after that. And they threatened to kick me out of the game, and Jay Chains came over and he settled me down. He's like, you need to, whatever, Okay. So then the very next inning, the same thing happened to him. He got pissed and he was yelling and cussing the others. I had to go calm him down. So when we don't have each other to calm each other down, I don't know what we'll do.
That's a true bear market.
That's true bear market. Ben Armstrong actually kind of sounds like something a scammer would name an account. I agree. It kind of does. What was the one that Ben Armstrong for real this time?
Yeah,
like maybe that was one we thought about. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we just needed to change it so that way people can find me a little bit better. So is what it is. I want you guys to know that is the official account. It is not. That's not a scammer. That is actually me. Go ahead.
Nothing. I was going to say, why don't we jump into the charts?
Let's do it. Here we go.
Survey the damage.
Here we go. All right. We look at that volume.
Oh, yeah.
214 billion. That's the highest we've seen since the peak of the bull market.
Yeah. Everybody's making moves now.
Yep. $1.43 trillion in market cap. We got Bitcoin dominance, 41.5%. ETH dominance up at 19.8%.
Yeah. A lot of money was flowing into ETH.
I think a lot of money flowing out of Terra into ETH is probably what we were looking at there. 31.5 Paraguays would send you an ETH transaction. Bitcoin coming in today is a nice bounce, $31,422. I do think that is short-lived. Ethereum at 2370, about the same place it was yesterday, and you can see that 0.11%. Binance Coin 320, down 17% for the week. XRP around 51 cents. That thing may be heading back to 25 cents. It's definitely possible, I think. In the short term, Solana $69. Cardano up today. So man, get your moon bags back. Cardano up.
What was Luna? How far down is Luna still?
Oh, it's UST is now down at number 10. Luna fell all the way to number 14. Yeah, 61% for the week.
So that was something interesting to think about if you are still actively swing trading, trying to make moves in this market. Now that we're in a bear market, you kind of have to flip your thinking as far as how you swing trade. So like when things are going up, you're looking for, hey, I'm in this alt, it pumped 30, 40%. What's another strong project that I believe in that hasn't moved recently? I want to move my profits into that. Yeah. You can almost do the opposite when things are going down. So we were just looking at Ethereum, basically flat on the 24-hour. Not saying this is what we're doing or recommend you do this, but in an example like this, if Terra was a strong project that you wanted to accumulate over the bear market, there's still probably be better opportunities. But when something dramatic happens in a bear market like this and you're flat on Ethereum, down 50, 60% on another alt that you think will rebound, kind of like what we did with Thorchain when they hit their hack, this could be an opportunity.
Well, I tweeted about this yesterday. This exact thing you're talking about. I said, the crypto market has proven that when top projects go through catastrophic events, opportunities often follow, i.e. Thorchain. Polygon had a huge issue. It got a hack last year. Compound, same thing, had a hack. XRP, when the SEC lawsuit dropped, everybody thought, oh, man, this thing's going to go all the way down to 10 cents. And I think it bottomed maybe around 17 or 18 cents, and then it popped right back up. Solana, when the first pausing event happened, it bounced back from that huge. Just saying, if you like Luna before, which I've never been gigantic on Luna, we had it as our coin of the month a couple months in a row, and it crushed it and did really well for people. We didn't take as big of a position as we should have. But if you did like Luna and if you did believe in it, there's no reason to abandon it at this point. Like, it's going through a growing pain right now. And, you know, I don't understand exactly, you know, how UST factors into all this. If it's going to, you know, survive, it's almost got its peg back. It's back to 91 cents. So it's approaching back to the peg. You know, and it's one of those things where if you bought at the peg, or if you bought the stablecoin at $1 and it dropped 40% down to 60 cents, which it did, well, once it gets the peg back, you didn't lose any money. So could you imagine selling? No. Could you imagine selling a stablecoin at a loss?
No. That's peak retail emotion right there. Because, like, you got to know they're most likely going to get that peg back. There's billions of dollars on the line. We've never seen a stablecoin. Well, as far as I know, never seen a major stablecoin with major capital behind it lose and not recover. So
yeah, absolutely.
I would imagine this is what we were debating here in the office as well. You know, Terra still has a strong chance to recover as a viable layer one. Now they've got a lot of work to do, but
it will recover. But I've always said, you know, we talked about it yesterday. Like, I don't think Terra is necessarily a top 10 project. Top 20, definitely a great possibility. Top 50 for sure. So I think at some point it had to correct. It was just too much on the hype train. So let's see. All right. The MLB enforced the illegal mandates. Why would you advertise them? Because I'm a Braves fan and I love the Atlanta Braves and I love my city and I could care less about that stuff. What are you talking about? All right, let's bring Crypto Lifer.
All right.
Crypto Lifer. Let's bring him on. Let me come down here. What is up, man? How are you?
How you feel, man? How's your day?
I'm good, man. Do you have a favorite baseball team?
I born and raised in Boston, so
there you go.
I'm a diehard Red Sox fan. Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of Braves fans in Boston.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because the Braves are actually the oldest franchise in Major League Baseball. They started out as the Boston Red Stockings, I believe. And it's interesting. There's a lot of remnant from the people, like, passed down. Because when I was in Boston, I went to Boston last year for a trip, and I was surprised. I saw a lot of Braves hats. Started digging into it, and that's what it is. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, we used to have this like weird stock. My buddy has the hat. It kind of resembles, you know, it's a funny, weird little stalking hat. Yeah,
exactly. So, well, cool. Well, you know, we've had you on today for a while. We had this plan for a while, but obviously we had a lot of absolutely insane events in the last 48 hours in crypto.
Insane.
Where do we start?
I mean, it's like, you know, what I'll look at it this way is I formulate a long-term plan, like you're saying, right?
Yeah.
And the more when markets do this, I always tell myself, thank God I had a long-term idea, because you can stick on your exact, like my plan is I like to trade alts, but I'm stacking Bitcoin. I don't even stack ETH as much as Bitcoin. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with the path that I chose, you know? What do you think of that? Like, I stack a lot of Bitcoin. Like, I don't stack ETH that much, you know? Like, do you agree with that, or do you like stacking a lot of ETH?
No, I don't agree with that at all. I think you're totally opposite. I think you're totally wrong, Crypto Lifer here. I just think Ethereum's got more upside than Bitcoin. I think that the potential for, you know, like, really what made me fall in love with crypto was the idea of decentralization, right? And when you look at Web3 and when you look at what Ethereum is to the space, it is Web3 basically. And it is the second layer to the internet that solves a lot of the problems. And, a lot of people, they always love to say that, crypto is still in the wild, wild west. Guys, in 300 years, when we look back at the internet, we are still in the wild, wild west days of the internet. The fact that an 8-year-old can pick up a phone and be looking at porn within 2 minutes, sometimes even by accident, that's not the way the world's supposed to operate, guys. Like, that's a big flaw in the internet. Now, I think being able to tie your identity to your devices so it can control, so kids can't have a phone at 14 and be, sending Snapchats to each other, freaking nudes and stuff like that. Like, that's insane that is a huge part of the internet right now. So I think blockchain actually solves a lot of those problems, a lot of identity problems. There's a lot of problems around privacy that it solves, the data theft from Facebook. And so to me, Ethereum is the pathway to get all of that solved. And I think that value proposition is much higher versus a value proposition of, I want to invest in a hedgeable asset, which is what Bitcoin is to this day. But I do think the risk versus reward of not owning at least one Bitcoin, if you can afford to do it, is not worth it. I do think you need at least one, but I would rather stack Ethereum than Bitcoin.
So I would only stack Ethereum to just 10x it and sell it for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. I have some cool charts I wanted to share with you guys. Some charts that I haven't seen in a lot of other YouTubers. First, I just want to break down what I see for today. This is a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. You have the 1 hour stochastics pointing down. This is likely to come down to 28.5. I'm sorry to say, people don't like it when I say that, but I did it for the last few weeks. This broke down, and we even showed you on this channel. On your channel, I got to show the hidden bearish divergence. I'm not going to point it out again, but I could actually throw it down. I mean, here you had it slanted to the downside on price action, but you got a slant to the upside on the RSI. And that tells you that it's hidden bearish divergence. You don't even notice it's there because it's hidden. Bang, that began the fall down. Now, this is another thing. Are we in a bear market? People are still trying to hold on. I have a few ways of telling whether we're in a bear market or not. We can look at this logarithmic curve on the monthly chart. Okay. Let's go back in time, right? History, right, usually gives you a good, pretty much what's going to happen in the future. Not every time, but right here, look, we went below this gray line, this 90% regression line. And once we fell below that, multi-year bear market. Once a monthly candle closes below this gray line, it's sayonara. We did it here. Same thing happened again. We did it here. Yes, we came back for that false 14K top. I think we may have stayed above 6 or 5K had we not had the pandemic coming down there.
Agree 100%.
But, and now look, we're getting a candle close a low here again on the monthly. And to me, if this candle stays and closes in 22 days, that's the beginning of a multi-year bear market, hands down. Now, fine, I'll throw some hopium. Ben said we love hopium. There's some hopium up here. Here's some hopium. Let me turn that off. Sorry. The hopium here is this. If this candle can get back above and create a wick, fine. Here's some other cool hopium for you. We had a bottom here at 3,200. Our next bottom was at about 6,300, and that was the entire bear market. Same thing here. We had a bottom at like 200. Our next bottom was at $550. It looks like our bottom, we may capitulate to a wick, 13K, 14K. I don't even, I don't like to say I know where prices are going. Anything could happen. I'm ready for 10K, 7K. Is it likely? Probably not, but I'm ready for anything because that's how you have to be. If we capitulate a wick down here, we come down, it looks like our possible bottom for the bear market could be like 29, 26,000. I'm actually kind of optimistic about this. We could make a secondary top here and our another bottom could be around like, I don't know, 50K, 45K. You could be getting out of this bear market and starting the halving at like a $55,000, $48,000 Bitcoin. So it's not all that bad. Also, there's a lot of new coins coming out every single day. So there's still a lot of swing trading. I've been able to swing trade more during this dump than almost all the other ones. There's still more action in the altcoins than I've seen before,
Yeah, I think that's definitely very interesting. The number that I'm looking at, and I think this weekend we'll be kind of making this official, but the number I'm kind of looking at is 26.5. And that fits right within that range that you're talking about. 26.5.
Well, I got this bigger.
Go ahead.
This is like the daily levels, right? It's sad, right? We break 29. You got nothing left but this notch at 24,000. You got to have a little chop where you're talking, but there's really to me, it's 24K. And then everyone's saying Bitcoin's never hit its previous highs before. It won't go to 19,000. I'm just stop listening to people who tell you it can't, it won't. I don't think, I believe. You got to just let the charts play out. And so what I do is I look at that fear and greed index, and whenever I see it in the tens, I am loading up. And again, I waited to this point to start to load up, and I still keep dry powder. I remember Ben saying one day, he said, I went all in because I had to. I did the same thing. 5 years ago, I went all in. Now I don't have to go all in, so I don't go all in. At the same, you keep dry powder and you just keep accumulating BTC. Then when the market rips back up, I'll use that BTC to trade ETH. I'll go into ETH and 10x the BTC with the ETH. I'll use all the altcoins to trade the Satoshis that I stacked during the bear. That's how you can take 30 grand and turn it into 25 million in the next 8 years. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
These are the times. These are the times. Like,
it's definitely possible. I think when you look at, I just always like to think about Cardano. Cardano sat at 5 cents for the entire bear market. 5 cents. You got all the way up to $3, and you had so much opportunity to pick it up at that price point, and it bored people to death. And yes, we hoped it would get to $8 to $10 or $8 to $12. It didn't get there. It got to 3. But if you were buying at 5 cents, that's not, yes, in dollars and cents, it's a big difference between $3 and $8, but you made a ton of money on that investment, and you got to have that long-term mindset. The reason I'm looking at 26.5 is I understand on the levels, that's not really a strong level, but the golden pocket, the golden fib pocket there is at 26.5.
Yep.
And there's a lot of historical numbers we're going to be going over this weekend on a video that do indicate that is a decent range to look at, averaging history out, that could be a price point. I don't think we're seeing, it go below $20,000, but I agree with you 100%. The idea that it can't go below that, you got to take that out of your mind. It can, for sure. A lot of people say, well, it's never gone past a previous all-time high. Well, that's true over the 4-year cycles. Like, it's never gone under the previous 4-year cycle top. But if you look in between the two pumps in 2013, there definitely was a time where it ripped and made a new all-time high, a gigantic new all-time high, parabolic. And then in the next dip, it did go down below the first all-time high. So there is some precedent to say it can drop that dramatically. But the cool thing was it barely went under it, and it leveled off as soon as it did. So it was pretty quick, and it didn't go dramatically lower. But I think if you don't believe
throw out these levels, but they're capitulation wicks, right, Ben? Usually it's
absolutely.
It's going to be a moment in time, So
yeah, it's exciting to think about where we're at right now. Like, people don't understand unless you've been through probably 2 full cycles. You don't understand the opportunity that these bear markets bring around, and you can't stare a gift horse in the mouth. And when you're looking at a $30,000 Bitcoin where we're at right now, regardless if it goes to 17,000, this is still a great price point to I believe start accumulating. What do you think?
Amazing. Like, I'm with you 100% because I looked at this last time when we were getting to 30K, and I actually longed a huge trade there, and I said, listen, we go to 15K, I lose 50% of my investment. I've been trading 15 years. You know how many times I've been down 50%?
Yeah.
I can do that. Like, that's okay. Like, I can do that in my sleep. So I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, all right, well, where's the upside? 100K, 3Xing. So you're telling me I have to risk 50 to gain 300%? That's a no-brainer to me. 6 to 1. Like, I'm in. So, like, the risk-reward ratio right now for what you've been through a crazy risk if you went all in like you did 9 years ago and all the things you've been through. I actually opened up on my channel today. I won't get into it, but you inspired me to open up today. And I just wanted to say thank you. And, you have, because you're the biggest channel, you get hit with a lot of stuff, right? People throw a lot at your windshield. But at the end of the day, what you represent is the fact that you came from nothing. And you always bring that up. Like, and you remind me that I came from nothing and that everyone watching right now, like he said, everyone feels like they got in late into crypto. I got in late, I saw a guy in the streets of New York. He told me about Ethereum at $9. I didn't buy it till it was 89. And I felt like a complete idiot. I was like, I just completely missed the 10X. I'm a fool. We all feel late in this game. The idea is to get yourself established, get yourself educated, and begin to form it, get educated on where the cycle is, where the halving exists. Find out where you stand in the cycle. And that's where you're going to really begin to flourish in crypto,
Man, I couldn't have said that any better myself. I think that people have to understand, like, look, I've been in crypto for a long time, and I felt late as crap for a long period of that time. But now where I'm at, I realize I was in early enough. And a lot of you guys are going to get to that point after this next 4 years where you are going to be at a different place financially. And, if I did it, if Crypto Lifer did it, you can certainly do it. We're just normal guys, come from rough backgrounds, and we made it here, and you can definitely do it too. So if we could, Crypto Lifer, thank you so much for coming on. We'll definitely have you on again in the future. TJ, let's put his YouTube channel in the chat and pin that so people can go to Crypto Lifer's YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to him. We love Crypto Lifer. He's an awesome guy. Thanks for coming on. Anything you want to leave us with?
Honestly, I just want to say thank you. You inspire me. Like when I get this opportunity and I see what you're doing with your channel, I'm just inspired. Who can I inspire in the next few years if I keep going? So you just make me realize that I just have to keep pushing forward, no matter what the market is, no matter what's going on, and believe in myself, man. So thank you. I just want to say thank you, and thank you to everyone who's subscribing and everyone who supports all our channels and all the YouTubers out there. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you're welcome. And this is why we do it. This is why we pay it forward. You got to keep paying it forward. That's why we bring on other channels onto our channel. We love giving you guys the airtime and hopefully getting you guys some new subscribers because you work extremely hard and you deserve all the success you've got. So, Crypto Lifer, thank you so much for coming on. We'll have you again, I guess, probably next month.
Thank you so much, man. Have a great day. God bless
man.
You and your family, man. I hope you guys win the softball championship, man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Good guy. That was fun.
God, I love that guy. He's such a great guy.
I mean, he said something inspirational right there. I mean, I don't know if you guys caught it, but he said two cycles, you can turn $30,000 into 25 million. And I agree with that 100%. We've seen it happen. So if that doesn't inspire you, I don't know. I don't know what does. That's the opportunity of a lifetime. Right.
It really is. And the thing is why a lot of people, they hear it, but they don't. It's because you hear the opportunity, but you're still having to project yourself 4 to 8 years in the future, and you're struggling right now. Yeah. Like, you're having a hard time right now. Like, maybe you're having a hard time paying your mortgage, or maybe you're having a hard time. I had a hard time getting groceries and clothes for my family, right? Like, maybe you're in a much smaller house than your family can fit, and you're having to cramp in, and you got 2 or 3 kids staying in the same bedroom. Like, I know it's hard, but I've been there. A lot of us have been there. You just got to power through these times, and you got to do whatever you can do to survive and provide for your family until you get to that place, because that place does exist, and I will tell you, it is a very worthwhile place.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's get into the news here. Looking at this. This is Peter Schiff. What did he tweet? The entire U.S. economy is about to shut down again, but this time it won't be a dress rehearsal. It will be the real thing. We won't ask businesses to close. They'll have no choice but to close. Tens of millions will be fired from jobs that will never return. What is he talking about here? Talking about how bad the Fed is going to get here?
Yeah, the collapse is
the collapse. They won't be able to come back. Well, it's been a really interesting place where people haven't, had to really worry about looking for jobs because there's so many jobs available out there. And I've said for a long time that you're going to get a workforce that's going to get beat down. Right now, the workforce feels like we can go work remote. We can do whatever we want. There's so many opportunities. I get paid so much better if I go over here. But the truth is when we're moving to a deflationary time, there's not going to be as much money in these businesses. And I believe that this time of where the employees have more power than the employers, I think that's going to be over. If you look at the way the world has generally worked since its inception, it doesn't usually stay like that. So, we could see things swinging back in the way of big business here. The mom and pop stores, just like we saw during the pandemic, may have to be closing up to make room for, some of these, hard financial times. I guess what I was trying to say. I lost my train of thought because I think the story was out of order. $280 billion outflows, Bitcoin's market cap, as it fails to capitalize on 2022 crypto adoption. What a stupid headline. What a dumb headline. Show me you don't know what you're talking about in crypto without showing me you don't know what you're talking about in crypto. Guys, we are seeing more crypto adoption than ever. Crypto adoption has nothing to do with price speculation. Remember that. People will tell you that it does. History has proven that is not true. Cali Crypto Dude says, thank you for the pep talk. We need these reminders. Appreciate you, Cali Crypto Dude, in that super chat. And what was the super chat before? Somebody asked, how do you learn about the cycles? Yes. We will be putting out a video on the Bitcoin cycles this weekend. But in addition to that, also, you guys can check out bitlabacademy.com. We have a lot of beginner stuff, and we're going to actually even be introducing even more beginner things on BitLab Academy, because we've realized that there's a level that people have to get to before they can even probably, understand the stuff in the academy.
Basically, our beginner is probably somewhat intermediate.
Yeah,
what
maybe
learning.
somewhat.
Yeah,
it's still it's beginner. It's not newbie.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Exactly.
So Biden is taking inflation seriously. Yeah, great job taking it seriously. Way too late. I thought inflation was transitory, meaning temporary, right? Or it's going to come and go very quick.
No, we're going to transition into a really bad economy.
These comments from Jerome Powell over the last year, I don't know how this man still has a job. How does Jerome Powell have a job today?
His job is to lie effectively, so he's doing it pretty well.
Who believes this stuff?
Keep people
I don't
on
know
the
anyone.
line.
I don't know anyone that believes the crap that he says. Like, even people that are not in economics, they can still go to the store or go to the gas pump, and they can say, holy crap, this is so much more than it used to be. Like, they get it. They understand what's going on. So can $7,000 make you $1 million? If so, where to start? Yeah, $7,000 can certainly make you $1 million. But, prices need to probably get a little bit lower than they are right now. And I would suggest putting in some of the top coins when they're down the most.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, you get profits and you can roll those into other projects that may be a little more riskier and have better risk reward.
Yeah, there was another question where somebody said, can we turn 30,000 to 25 million without actively trading? No, you'd have to
say it again. What, $10,000 to 25 million?
30,000 to 25 million without trading. And I would say, no, you have to make some moves. You don't have to trade.
Is that?
That's,
what's that division?
I mean, it's basically 100, almost 30,000 to 30 million would be 100.
Let's see, 30,000.
It's like 80
times 1,000 would be 30 million. Yeah. So it's a little bit over a 1,000x. It's extremely rare to find a 1,000x coin. Yeah. Especially, and guys, you got to understand this. I think it's going to be even rarer to find them going forward, because we're going to have less top build projects created, because we've been talking for several weeks now. Now it's time for people to start building on top of the chains we already have. Mm-hmm. So for that reason, I think it's going to be really hard. But taking advantages of taking profits in your tops and accumulating your bottoms, you can get there. So
you can definitely do it. You'd have to get a few rides, trade into some new up-and-coming coins with profit. That's basically exactly what Crypto Lifer was talking about. Get into a coin, take some profits. When you're up at the top, take those profits, roll it into another smaller coin, and then let it pump.
Yep.
And that's what happens a lot easier in bull markets.
Bullish Big Daddy says, these issues were ongoing, or were going on during Trump as well. It didn't just start overnight. LOL. No, nobody disagrees there. I don't know anybody that would disagree.
Actually, it's been going on since the 70s.
Yeah. This is not a newsflash. I know, obviously, you guys can probably tell which side I'm a little more partial to. That's probably pretty obvious, but we try to stay right down the middle here on the channel. Trump didn't fix any of the inflation either. Actually, money printing was just as rampant. He was actually the one that kicked off the money printing during the pandemic, which, whether or not that was fair for him to have to deal with, it is what it is. But the fact is that this has been going on for a long time. This is a long tail problem. This spans through many administrations.
Every 4 years, the government gets larger, their budget goes up, the spending goes up, and the efficiency goes down.
Yeah, so mismanage. Any president who did not fire Jerome Powell is liable here. Jerome Powell should have been fired a long time ago. And we are putting some stuff together for a book that we're putting together, which I can't wait to talk to you guys more about. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. We think this will probably be the #1 crypto bestseller. But what we're going to tell you is we're looking a lot about how crypto started, how Bitcoin spurred out of the financial crisis. Guys, if you go back and look at some of the stuff Ben Bernanke, who is the former, president of the Fed or in charge of the Fed back then during that financial crisis, they just come out and lie to you over and over and over and over again. He is telling you in 2007, housing market's great. No. The same thing you hear people say today, by the way. The same thing you hear people say today. Yeah, the housing market's out of control, but the fundamentals are good. What does that even mean? That all when people say the fundamentals are good, and this goes for Bitcoin, and this goes for the housing market as well, is regardless of everything that's going on, like behind the scenes, things look pretty good. So, we know we can use this vague word and you won't actually understand what it means. But trust us, it's going up. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Pomp and Will Clement do it all the time. They do it all the time. Ben Bernanke did it with the housing market. That's all they do is talk about the fundamentals are great. Yeah. See what happened? Fundamentals for Bitcoin were great over the last year. Fantastic. What happened? We're going to see the same thing with the housing market over the next year. I don't think it's going to crash tomorrow, but it's going to crash. And, I hope you're in a good position to take advantage of it. So, Powell is in so deep. He's neck deep. Yeah, that's the thing about these unelected officials, guys. They're the most powerful people in politics. 10-month Bitcoin price low sparks $1 billion liquidation. Bitcoin eyes $35,000 CME futures gap. So now we've got a CME futures gap to the upside. Now, here's the problem here, okay? There was also a gap at $17,000 and a gap at $14,000 in 2018. What we're trained to believe is these CME gaps, which happens when you have Bitcoin futures that are only open Sunday through Friday. So there's a gap created if there's a heavy price movement on the weekend. Whenever we have these gaps, 98% of them, as a statistic, tend to fill. Yes, we will certainly fill this $35,000 CME gap, but it's not going to be maybe for a long time. There is a possibility we do get a short-term pump back up to 35 or 36, but just because there's a gap at 35,000 doesn't mean it's going straight up to 35,000. But that would be a good place if you're looking. Look, guys, bull market, we're looking to long. We're looking for dips, and we're looking to long. If you're trading, which we might get back to a little more trading to keep some of the interest here on the channel over the next couple months, maybe some competitions between me and Frankie Candles. We'll see what happens. But I see you, Frank. But what we're looking for is we're now looking for pumps to short. And look, I know shorting is a little controversial. People don't like it because they tend to think when people are shorting, it makes the market go down. Guys, there's nothing a retail investor can do to move the market down. You got institutions that are putting in mega millions in shorts. If I'm doing a $10,000 short, that is not going to affect the market. If there's 100 of us doing it, that's not going to affect the market. If there's 1,000 of us, it's not going to affect the market. So if you believe that affects the market, that's not really the way that it works. All you're doing, similar to our theory of why we like XRP, we like to swim with the whales. Same thing with shorting. I know it's not, I don't like to short. It makes me feel terrible. I just don't like it because I want the price to go up. But that's what you look to do if you're a trader in a bear market is you look for the pumps. $35,000 CME gap. If we got up there, that'd be a great place to take a short, in my opinion. We also have MicroStrategy has a $205 million term loan and needs to maintain $410 million as collateral. MicroStrategy has 115,000 Bitcoin it can pledge. If the price of Bitcoin falls below 3,562, the company could post some other collateral. Please see slides 11 and 12 in this presentation. Where is that here?
So basically, they got plenty of room before they get liquidated. And even if they did, they've got plenty more capital to deploy. No slides?
Why does he do this? Why does he do this?
Oh, no.
Michael,
come on.
This is your company. Take ownership over your hair, please.
I think it's just he hasn't updated his corporate profile
you think
picture
so?
For a long time.
Oh, there you got to update that, Michael. Michael, I want you to know. You and I we both have great hair. Embrace being the silver fox that you are, Mike. Embrace it. Nobody wants that stupid brown hair. That's as young and poor. Sorry, brown-haired people. I also used to have brown hair myself. TJ also has brown hair.
Yeah. Young and poor.
And poor. All right. I tell you what, when I had a lot more brown hair, I didn't have nearly as many dollars in my account. What was the super chat up there? What the previous one? $1,000 into each top 10 not stable coins will be $1 million with no train during the next run.
If you hit the bottom.
Yeah, 1,000 to $1 million is 1,000 to $1 million. That's still 1,000x.
Yeah. If you you'd have to nail the bottom. But
if you nailed the bottom, it could be possible. But really, I think if you could put $1,000 into each of the coins, that will formulate the top 10 at the
That's what
peak.
he's saying. 1,000 into each top 10. So it's 10,000 to $1 million, not 1,000 to $1 million.
Right. Oh, yeah, 10,000. So it's 100. So it is more possible. But what I'm saying is the top 10 today will not be the top 10 at the peak of the run. If you could figure out a way to nail what you think will be the top 10 coins, the top 10 coins, that means some that are great performers during that time. Chainlink, one that's fallen out of people's mind a lot. That's one to look at for sure. Some other ones, Elron, definitely a possibility. Sandbox for sure.
Well, that kind of plays right into what this guy's super chat is. Why have an alt portfolio now when next bull cycle's winners will become more apparent near the end? Look at 2017 versus 2021 winners, which is very true.
That's exactly what we just said.
Yeah. And that's part of, so when I was making big moves, or some of the ones that really paid off was like March, April, May of 2020, getting into Cosmos and Solana and some of those newer coins that people were excited about, and letting them run up and then moving that into Ethereum, and then Ethereum runs even more, etc.
A lot of people are talking about H-bar. H-bar potential.
And and that's something to keep an eye on too. Some of the underperformers of this bull market that people were really excited about, tech-wise, Algo, H-bar, E-Gold, some of those that just never quite had that blow off top, might be some of the big performers next
XRP for sure XRP. But I think that when somebody said look at ADA, it's going to be one of the winners, and Solana is not going to be one of the winners, I think there's a very strong argument for that. Because Solana, one thing to look at is it's extremely outperformed the market. Chances are it's not going to extremely outperform the rest of the market 2 times in a row. And a lot of the allure of Solana was a lot of the allure of Cardano in 2017, which was, it doesn't really have anything built yet. Let's see what it looks like when it's built. Well, now Solana's been built out. That allure's gone a little bit. A lot of the mystery is what actually fuels some of the speculation. So I look, my top 4 coins, I would almost say I can confidently say I think Sandbox is my number 5 coin. I think I could add it there, but Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, Sandbox. I'm telling you, these are 5 coins that are going to crush it in the next market for sure. I believe 100%. Outside of that, I think there's a lot of questions. I mean, a lot of people would say Cardano has a lot of questions. I don't think people would really, as long as XRP wins the case or Ripple does, I don't think people are going to question XRP being an outperformer because it underperformed in the last market. I think a lot of people can see what's coming with Sandbox. Crypto.com, one definitely not to sleep on. FTT, definitely not one to sleep on. Those are some potentials for top 10, I think, in the next. With Chainlink as well. Chainlink underperformed vastly in this last market.
I think Chainlink, though, it just, because it was new in the bear market, that's most of the reason it pumped during the bear market. And so it had most of its run up in the bear market, and so it didn't have a lot of steam.
I think there's a lot of truth to that. I do think there's a lot of truth to that, but I also think that when it comes to Chainlink, it has 10 or 20 times the amount of partners that the next project does.
Yeah, I think it's very stable.
Interoperability and use case does eventually roll into affecting the speculation of the price. I think it's in a prime position to.
So what you're saying, the fundamentals are really strong. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm never going to say that again.
No, I know what you mean. I'm just,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a very
the fundamentals can be strong and it can lead to things, but just because the fundamentals are strong doesn't mean it's going to perform in the short term. That's the message that a lot of people are getting from a lot of these charts. Some of these big Bitcoin guys tweet out. They see it and they're like, "Look at the fundamentals. Look how many people have held Bitcoin for over a year. Man, this is super bullish." And then what happens? We get a bear market. So short term, long term, those things do matter. Hash rate does matter. The SOPR, it does matter. Over the long term, over the short term, it doesn't matter at all.
And that's kind of what you're saying with Chainlink. Partnerships matter. Having viable use case, a lot of people using your product does matter.
Chainlink will be around in 10 years for sure.
Right.
And that's why I'm bullish.
Right. Yeah. And finding the projects you believe will be around 10 years from now and you believe in accumulating, that's a great way, especially if you pick good ones, to get ahead.
And I also see a lot of people have been mentioning, I've seen a lot of people mention ISO 2022. We're going to have a video on that next weekend.
Yeah.
By the way. So
tons of people.
All right. So Bitcoin investors are panicking as a controversial crypto experiment unravels. Investors in Bitcoin are in panic mode as the controversial Terra stablecoin slips further from its $1 peg. It sank to 70 cents. It sank all the way to 62 cents. I saw it at 64. Bounce back. We saw it's about 92 right now. On Monday, Do Kwon's Luna Foundation Guard, or LFG, which was a really funny meme when the price was going up, said it would lend $750 million worth of Bitcoin to trading firms to help protect the peg. Nick Carter, co-founder of TokenMetrics and former Backstreet Boy, I can never not make that joke. Told CNBC it is a calamity, but very expected. No algorithmic stablecoin has ever succeeded, and this is no exception. And I will tell you guys that we steer clear of algorithmic stablecoins. We learned that in the last market. Back when we were doing sponsor videos, we worked with a couple of those stablecoins. Benchmark was one. We liked Benchmark. You know, it was a great plan. I know today there's a few other ones that are trying to recreate what Luna is doing. Of course, what was the big one? What was the big algorithmic stablecoin? There was Reserve Rights that had one along with it, I believe. But what was the big one?
I can't remember.
Ampleforth.
Oh, yeah.
Ampleforth. None of these have panned out. The idea of an algorithmic stablecoin, I just don't think is quite there yet.
Yeah.
One day it possibly can be there. I know a lot of people made money in the early days on a lot of these coins.
The theory is good and interesting and intriguing, but figuring it out.
There's too much volatility in crypto.
Yeah. It's very delicate.
Yes. Ollie's here says, hey, Ben, I sold a lot of coins in November and put UST in Anchor. Recently, UST price scared the hell out of me. What do you think? Can UST come back to $1? I do believe they'll get back to $1.
Yes.
You agree?
Yes.
I do believe they will get it back to $1. But as soon as it gets back to $1, oh, get the out of it.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets back to $1, get the heck out of it. That is what I would do. We own 0 algorithmic stablecoins. Zero. We own 0. So that should tell you something right there. Below is the Luna Guard wallet address. You saw that they withdrew 37,000 Bitcoin. I think they had to sell that Bitcoin to kind of push the peg up. So, and then they have a big long thread about it. Not going to get too much into it. Here's how crypto's 3rd largest stablecoin collapsed.
Yeah, let's get into this because I'm sure a lot of people are
wondering
interested.
how and why.
Yeah, why?
What are your thoughts on Polkadot and parachains like Moonbeam? I like Polkadot. I think it's going to be a successful project. Moonbeam, I do also like. So there you go. Thank you for the super chat.
And the concept of parachains is definitely interesting.
Love it. Love interoperability. I think Polkadot has a great chance to be right there with Cardano to be one of the top platforms. If it works the way it says it's going to work. We see Solana, it hasn't. Cardano, they're working on it. Had some problems, but they fixed a lot of it. You know, we'll have to see what happens with the parachains and Polkadot. But I do think eventually all the people affiliated with Ethereum in the beginning will create winners. To maintain UST's peg, it depends on incentivized arbitrage rates for its balancer, Luna token, and various assets traded by discretionary wealth managers, all while somehow claiming to be decentralized. In reality, 7 managers make most decisions. There's a lot of content out there about the centralization issues with Terra. But, you know, once again, remember this. Decentralization is a continuum. Nothing is 100% decentralized. Nothing is 100% centralized. It always falls somewhere in the middle. And the goal of a lot of these projects is to get to a more decentralized place down the road.
Right.
It all started the night of May 7th when someone dumped $84 million worth of UST, which is not even that much. I mean, that's a lot of money to a lot of you. It's a lot of money to me. But, you know, for an institution or a big project, that's not that much money.
For somebody incentivized to wreck a stablecoin peg,
especially from a competitor,
doesn't make much, not that much money.
Exactly.
Much greater money-making opportunity by doing that. That's what you really ought to look at.
So Terraform Labs here, Terra, they have no incentive to depeg. But who might? I think that's the question you got to ask. Just because the project itself has no reason or incentive or motivation to unpeg doesn't mean there aren't some forces out there. And I tell you what, you know, we see how this started. They went and sold this $84 million on Curve. Do you think it's a coincidence? Do we think it's a coincidence that just yesterday morning we got the news of the Trust Act, which is going to be the Stablecoin Act from the U.S. government? I don't know. Is the government behind this? I'm not going to rule it out of the question. They want to crush stablecoins no matter what. This is perfect timing. A little too coincidental, in my opinion.
Or it could be a big money whale, you know, that was taking advantage of the returns from UST, and they know the jig is up based on that. And like, you know what?
Absolutely.
Just pull it out.
Absolutely. 1 year history of the peg here, or of Luna, excuse me. See, Luna retraced 61%.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's, golly, I mean, it's down to, it's, You got to go down here to find a lower price back in September. So, Do Kwon briefly erred by claiming that a single entity executed 62% of the withdrawals. Who is this entity? Do we know who this is?
I'm not sure.
Has anybody given some theories?
I think there's theories out there that it's Ethereum whales, obviously.
Yeah.
People incentivize. It could be maxis.
Nah, they don't. They're not that serious about this.
They were very upset about UST, the concept of buying. Basically, they were the ones saying this is just a big Ponzi. You're using Bitcoin's price going up to pump money going into UST that just circles back into Luna, and it's great when the price is going up, but as soon as the price starts going down, it's gonna tumble everything. So.
Yeah. Do Kwon's next breakthrough for the utility was Anchor. So we kind of mapped out how this happened. Basically, you had a bunch of people dumping the price. If you think about this, if you think about, the Ethereum merge coming, something we're talking about doing actually is we're thinking about selling 10% of all of our coins except Ethereum and rolling that into Ethereum as we head towards the ETH merge. Maybe that's what these people are doing. There's potential they were doing that as well. You saw what happened to the ETH dominance.
Yeah.
Shot way up. It's almost 20% right now. The highest it's been this year for sure. Probably, I think it approached 20 to 21% last year. But that could be what we're seeing is they're moving out of Terra and getting ready to shape up for the ETH merge. I mean, look, Ethereum's going to be more successful than Terra. I don't think there's a doubt in that. Why would you not do it? So there's a lot of different theories, but I do think that the interesting thing about the Fed, like we're going to talk about here, the stuff going on with the government is pretty fishy. What was that super chat up there? There's a super chat I wanted to just grab real quick. My holdings are in Coinbase wallet at the moment. Is it safe or do I need to find a better hot wallet? Coinbase wallet is fine as long as it's not the Coinbase app. Coinbase wallet is a different app than the Coinbase app where you buy your crypto on. The Coinbase wallet, you have your private keys. So as long as you have your private keys, it's a safe wallet.
And this is one thing, what's happened here with Luna, with this big price correction. I mean, you were just looking at it's down to $31 from, insane highs. This is how when people say things can't correct 90%, 95%, this is how. I mean, there's really no reason Luna can't go all the way back down to
absolutely
$14. It
was overperforming the whole time.
Right.
The whole time it was overperforming.
And it could hang out down here for 6 months, a year for you to accumulate. And it may come back, it may not. And that's where
so excited. We need
that's where the opportunity
get more money
is.
To buy more crypto.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do.
Time to start
Anybody have any ideas?
Dollars.
Man.
All right.
Never mind. All right. Sharp interest rate spikes and stablecoin runs pose risk to U.S. economy. Here we go. Report contains Fed's assessment of the resiliency of the U.S. financial system and how financial stability can be promoted. U.S. economy, like many others in the world, is shedding value following the Fed raising interest rates. Fed also believes that stable coins are prone to runs and that as the sector continues to grow rapidly, it remains exposed to liquidity risks. That is exactly what we saw over the last couple of days. So,
real quick, too, just since we spent so much time on the UST stuff, Do Kwon did just tweet about 15 minutes ago, close to announcing a recovery plan for UST. Hang tight. Didn't mean to be
they need a plan.
Yeah. Didn't mean to be so quiet. Needed razor focus to deliver. Thanks to everyone for the support. So we'll see.
Nicholas Hyder says regulations will never allow stable coins because central banks lose control. More palatable to allow currency-backed stable coins. There are some people that are saying they're going to try to ban U.S. dollar peg stable coins. That could.
They're going to require them to hold government bonds, I think is what it goes down to.
They're going to figure out a way to capitalize on it. Is what it boils down to. So, stock futures rise after S&P falls to its lowest level in more than a year. U.S. stock futures rose Tuesday morning as S&P 500 attempted to rebound after falling to its lowest level in more than a year. Don't know what that is. Monday's decline was sparked by continued fears over rising inflation as it hit markets on all sides. You guys can see Google fell 3.7%, or Meta fell 3.7%. Google fell 2.8%. Tesla dropped 9%. I wonder if that's because its connection to crypto, possibly. Despite our expectation of falling inflation and sustained growth, we believe investors should brace for further equity volatility ahead amid significant moves in key economic variables and bond markets. So there you go. Right now we got 7,200 viewers. Golly, so many viewers on this show today. Yeah. Feels like a bull market. We're bullish.
I was going to say the viewers always come out when the price is crashing.
Well, but yesterday was good, but not nearly as good as today. So thank you to all the Bit Squad for watching in. This morning my son woke up and said, "What did you do?" Luckily, he had bought XRP. Well, there you go. You got to buy XRP. So thank you for the super chat there, Gold 13 Dragon. Thank you to all the viewers. And if you do us a favor, let's get more viewers. All you got to do is smash that like button. Number one thing you can do as a member of the Bit Squad. Stock futures rise after S&P 500. We just covered that story. ApeCoin, Apes and Bots brought L1 blockchains to their knees. So this is a pretty interesting story here when you look at the connection. And let's go to OpenSea.
It's so amazing the price difference or the news narrative difference. You're talking about bots and things crashing, chains going down, things losing their peg. Like the sentiment, you don't get any of these kind of stories in bull markets.
No,
it's amazing.
Checking out Pluto Alliance here on OpenSea, which they did take our check, as you guys know, because they're idiots and they will reap the consequences of that before you know it. But Pluto Alliance, just a reminder, we do give away 100%. Well, we give away 75% of the total money, 100% of the profit. We do keep some money back for taxes from our YouTube monetization. We give that every month to the holders of the Pluto Alliance. You can find that at the Pluto Alliance on OpenSea. Some people were asking how you buy it. Well, you just go here to OpenSea for now. There will be another place where you'll be able to buy them pretty soon. But I wanted to look at Bored Apes. I wanted to look at the reason I pulled up this blasphemous website. So I wanted to look at the floor price here. What's the floor price? 97. Wasn't it up to 120 at one point?
It was around probably before the land. I know it was over 100.
Average price 160. 160 looks like it was the peak. Let's see, 167. Well, but that's the amount that were sold that day. The 90-day average price is 115, and right now they're at 100. So you can see it is, it kind of a low. Earlier in March, it dropped all the way down to 85.75. So I think it really is important that we do watch what happens with these NFTs, because I've said for a long time that I do think that these NFTs will have their own market cycle. But just like Bitcoin and the NASDAQ have their own cycles, there are times when they're more correlated. I think that's what we're seeing right now as you do get something dramatic in the market. Corey says his goal is between now and the next run is 10 ETH, sitting at 6 now. Thankful for you guys. Hey, you will get there. 6 to 10, very doable. Mm-hmm. All right, so week over week price changes. You guys can see the price changes here of different assets. The sole reason the world is in the mess it is today is because Fed Chairman Bernanke, a student of the Great Depression, decided that throwing money at the 2008 mortgage crisis, whatever consequences came with it, was a worthwhile effort or trade-off to avert a global depression. And now we're facing a lot of these problems as we've had money printing out of control. We've had inflation out of control. The pandemic also put things out there. It's bad out there, but we still have record employment, strong consumer and company balance sheets, none of the financial stresses from 2008. Yet, that's the word I would add there. Yet, I do believe we're going to see a lot of that. Biggest bull case is simply that the bear case is so strong that it is almost certainly wrong. I mean, basically, they're banking on the fact that if everybody thinks the market's going down, it'll probably go up. Well, I think when the crisis really started in 2008, people were the same opinion. It's going to go down, and it didn't bounce back up. Stablecoin supply ratio shows the market cap of Bitcoin relative to the amount of stablecoins. You can see that. But here we go. Bored Apes and spam bots brought Ethereum and Solana to their knees. So one of the biggest long-term questions in the blockchain space is if and how we can eventually scale chains to accommodate millions and billions of users at prices they can afford. Talking about basically gas prices. What's that?
Nothing. I moved these sound effects and I keep accidentally hitting the button. I hit a little fail horn in the middle of yeah.
So the point here is this: is when we're at a place, and this is why I tell you, we need this bear market. And let me tell you, in 2018, 2019, I would have never told you that. I would have never said we need this. Why? Because I was not in a good financial spot, and I was poor. I was barely getting by, and I needed prices to go up. So I needed the hopium that it's going to go up. Fast forward 4 years later, we're at a different perspective. We've gone through a lot more in crypto. And I can tell you, we need stuff like this to occur to bring the solutions to many of the problems that are holding blockchain back, right? You take 3 steps forward, you take 2 steps back. That's what we're seeing. Well, when you take those 2 steps back, you put the plan together to push forward your next 3 steps. And I think that's what we're seeing when we still have NFTs and spam bots causing problems on these chains.
Yeah.
They're not ready for adoption yet.
Yep.
They're not ready. We've got to get there. So, and then of course we also have this other side, NFTs fall below mint price while cheaper ETH sees sales volume boost. Doesn't help that obviously the other side launched last weekend and now we're, the bottom of the market at this point for the last year. But what were you going to say, TJ?
That's just tough. That's doesn't bode well. I mean, it's like you said, it's a reflection of the overall market, but it doesn't bode well for the narrative that NFTs can continue to pump while everything else is going down.
Yeah, absolutely. So Justin got a nice J-Chains and the Meta Money. They got a nice little, what do they call it? A coda. It's like one of the prime lands.
Yeah, they got a cool spot.
I have some land there. Some land there, but it's below mint price. Golly. Imagine paying 2 ETH in gas and ended up below the floor price.
Yeah. Wow. Yikes.
So this could be the beginning of a big pullback in, in NFTs right now. We could be seeing that. And what a great time for VCon next week. Yeah. We will be at VCon. How many of you guys are going to be there? I'll be there Thursday and Friday. I got to leave Saturday morning. My kid, it's the state travel tournament here.
Oh, wow.
So got to go excited for that. We've been crushing it. So maybe we might be able to win state this year. That would be really, really awesome. So, and then of course, my youngest son, he starts his first all-star tournament is this weekend. So really excited about that. Dump incoming from the mighty mustache. Is this the arch nemesis of Crypto Stash?
Could be.
Did you see the guy that was downstairs last week that had the mustache? One of David's friends?
No.
It was the greatest mustache I've ever seen. Sorry, Crypto Stash, I love you. It blows your stash away.
Wow.
It was that. I was like,
I've seen some impressive ones. Brian from Meta Money used to have a pretty insane stash going on. I don't know if that was probably just after you guys met, he got rid of it, but he had the whole curl going on. He had a whole circle on both sides and everything. It was wild. Wow. We'll have to find some pictures of that.
Scroll up a little bit over there on the YouTube.
On the tube.
Yeah. Forgot where it was. Wait, when's the video on market timing? It's going to be coming out Saturday at 6. Saturday at 6. And over in the basement chat, what is your son's walk-up song? My youngest son, he's doing Thunder by Imagine Dragon. These are not my picks. He's doing Thunder by Imagine Dragon. My older son is, I think it's Kane Brown and Black Bear, maybe. It's like, maybe I Don't Want to Be a Memory, or Memory is maybe the name of it. I don't know where they come up with this stuff. My older son say he wants to change to What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow, which I do think is a pretty good move. Citigroup, Wells Fargo joins 105 million. I want some Tupac and Biggie or some Outkast.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
How about this? What should we make your walk-up song for this show?
Oh, my song, like my all-time walk-up song is Put On for the City. It's Put On by Jeezy. Like that's the all-time walk-up song. Like that is the legit. If we get the licensing so we can play it, because I put it on for the city all day, every day. But I did this thing where me and my son were going through walk-up songs, and I was like, check this one out, or check this one out, or check this one. He's like, nah, Dad, that's old music. I'm like, shut up. Get out of here. Some T.I., get some T.I. on there might be okay. I like T.I. Citigroup Wells Fargo's joined $105 million round for crypto infrastructure firm Talos. Talos, a crypto trading infrastructure firm that provides tooling for institutional investors, has raised $105 million in a Series B. They are a tool for institutional crypto investors across pre-trade execution and post-trade stages. Let's see. I don't know what Sen is. What is that, a person? Samar Sen, head of Asia Pacific at Talos, declined to share absolute numbers on trading volumes. So there you go. Pretty interesting there. And we also got Binance agreeing on exclusive crypto sponsorship deal with Brazilian Football Association. So there you go. We got to go through these kind of quick. We're running out of time here.
I'm just saying it was interesting seeing all these banks getting involved with crypto, Fidelity, Citi.
And the government setting the table for them.
Oh, yeah. They're bringing them to the table because actually the government's setting the table. It's the bank's table. They own the table. The government just comes in and sets it, and then they all sit down and make deals.
Jack Harlow sucks from William Freeman. I go back and forth with him. He's had some stuff I really like, but the kids like him. The kids like him these days.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he says some weird stuff on some of his songs. He's a little
out there, but the numbers would say he's pretty popular.
Yeah. Ben's walk-up song is Real American. Is that the Hulk Hogan song?
Yeah, getting those Hulk Hogan vibes.
My favorite walk-up song of all time for any athlete is Austin Riley is the Stone Cold 316 music. Yeah. Austin 316 music. So love that one. Good shout out. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
I'm rocking the Austin Riley today. He's my favorite Brave these days.
27. Yeah. It's my number.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is your number.
That's right. The one I wore to World Series, all that. He's the Brave I have the jersey for.
My number is 33.
That was my brother's.
That is my number. Charles Hoskins says the massive Cardano treasury is only going to grow.
Have you been doing that since middle school? When did 33 become your number? How long have you been doing that?
Me and Jim came up with it.
Yeah.
It's our secret handshake. Yeah, me and Jim came up with it. So about 15 years.
About 15 years.
No, my number used to be 24. It was Griffey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Griffey. Learn how to hit left-handed for Griffey. You do everything for Griffey. On Tuesday, Charles Hoskinson, let's see, provided some reassuring news for ADA holders. Where's the ADA Gang at? Put the ADA Gang in the chat. He says that the Cardano treasury is going to grow from 723 milli, maybe get up to some billies. That's what we'd like to see. In case you're wondering what DC Spark does, the main goals are to extend blockchain protocols, implement first-class ecosystem tooling, develop and release user. Was that the fail again?
Yeah, I hit it again. It's too close to my mouse.
Yeah. Wow. It sounded dirty. So there we go. We got some big Cardano news. We also have more Cardano news. Commercial smart contract adoption next market driver from Mark Cuban. We talked about this yesterday. We showed some of his tweets. And obviously, I think Cardano is going to play a big role in that. He tipped commercial smart contract adoption as the next catalyst to drive the crypto and blockchain sector. I think we are going to see that, over the next few years. I don't think we're going to see that in, this year or anything like that. I think, what we're probably going to see is some problems with metaverse and problems with NFTs over the next year, some things that develop, and then, we get some stuff to solve that, and that can kind of, move things back in the right direction. So we love Cardano, and we think that, Cardano smart contracts are going to be definitely a beast in the space, along with, of course, Ethereum as well. Those are the two I feel the very, very, very most confident in. What is there another one that you think we should be equally as confident in? I would put Polkadot right under that.
I mean, you're excluding Bitcoin, obviously.
Well, for smart contract platform.
Oh, you're smart. Okay, I thought you were talking about
for smart contracts.
Smart contract platform, and you're saying basically ETH and ADA are the only two you feel 100, and then maybe
Polkadot. We have to see what these parachains actually look like, how they operate, how interoperable they are. Efinity, a great project, is going to be moving to Polkadot. Like, I think it's got enough oomph behind it that it's going to get there. I mean, Polkadot, when it is in its full capacity, is going to have much more fanfare than like Solana, I believe.
Yeah, I tend to put Cosmos similar to Polkadot, where I think they're both really good, but we haven't seen it yet.
I like Cosmos as well, but it's we're talking about Tezos. These are both serial underperformers.
I wouldn't put either Cosmos or Polkadot really in the same category as Cardano and Ethereum, just because we haven't seen it function yet.
Agree. Okay. All right. We're basically on the same page there. 678 million XRP shoved by Anon wallets. 256 million. If you're in the XRP army, make sure to throw the X up. Make sure to throw the X up if you're in the XRP army. Huge news. Huge news coming, guys. I know I keep teasing. I keep talking about it. But I don't know when we're going to put out the socials for this. We finally have a name for this project. We've got some massive stuff coming. And TJ, am I underselling this?
Underselling?
Am I underselling or am I overselling it?
Underselling. Yeah.
I am definitely underselling.
Yeah,
correct. Guys, the thing that we've put together, I'm telling you, when you see what we're going to do, nobody's going to believe it. The Bitcoin conference people are going to be like, how did they do that? I swear to you, that's true. I promise that's true. I promise that is going to be true. You're never going to see an event like the one we're going to pull off. Literally, the world has never seen it before. So, God, God, I want to tell everybody so much. Do you like that dance?
Yeah, that was good.
All right. Let's see here. Mind-blowing 678.5 million XRP tokens have been transferred by a major crypto exchange and anonymous digital wallets over the past 24 hours. Biggest amount of XRP was moved, 256 million coins. It's covered by you today. Earlier, Japan-based car exporter SBI Motor Japan started to accept top 10 cryptos like XRP. SBI is a big XRP bank, by the way. And Bitcoin is payment for exported secondhand automobiles. I would assume SBI is somehow associated with SBI Motor Japan, wouldn't you?
Assumption, yeah, but I have no idea.
I don't know that for sure. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I know SBI is a bank that does support XRP. So then we've got this news here, XRP USDT. When you're looking at price action, it dipped below 62 cents. Buyers tended to push price back above 62 cents. Guys, I think this is saying psychological support at 50 cents. This is saying a downtrend could sink it to 42 cents. I'm telling you, if this thing goes into 42 cents, we're going to be moving some more money over there, I think. I can see how you don't. I mean, the amount of upside here with XRP when this case is over. And nobody believes they're losing this case. Nobody believes that. The only people that believe that, they believe it with the same conviction that Peter Schiff believes Bitcoin's going to zero. Like, it's not reality. They might just be telling you that. Everyone knows SEC is losing this case. Ripple's winning. Quick hits. IMF recommends Bahamas accelerate education campaigns on CBDCs. Near launches Kenya Regional Hub to support blockchain projects in Africa, which was kind of, what that last XRP story was hinting at as well, some African adoption. KuCoin raises $150 million at $10 billion valuation.
Wow.
To grow presence in Web3.
Jeez.
Here's Johnny Liu. Oh, we actually, I didn't think he was doxxed. For the longest time, his name was just Johnny. I didn't know he had been doxxed officially. Did you know that? I thought that was kind of the secret of their success.
No, I didn't know.
Wow, that's interesting. I've never seen a picture of him. KuCoin says it will use the funds to expand beyond centralized trading and grow its presence in Web3. And there you go. All right, those are quick hits. We're going to move on to questions.
All right, some quick Q&A here. Ben, I have 25K to invest into BTC, ETH, XRP, ADA. How much would you allocate to each coin during this bear market?
I got to be honest with you. If you have $25,000, I would not be putting money into Bitcoin. I don't believe unless you can buy at least 1/2 of one Bitcoin that you should be putting money in Bitcoin. Your goal should be to get to one Bitcoin, but you're much better leveraging these other coins to get there, in my opinion. I think if you have $50,000, $60,000 or more you're putting in, it makes sense to buy at least half a Bitcoin and try to trade up the rest to a half, but I would not be putting that into Bitcoin, 25K. I think your money's far better spent. I would say putting 10,000. I would say putting $15,000 in ETH, 5,000 XRP, 5,000 ADA.
Yeah,
I just think that no, I'm gonna say 10,000 ETH, 10,000 XRP, and 5,000 ADA.
See, I'd say today, if it were me, I'd just put 25K into ETH and just wait.
Yeah, but XRP's got
but there's still time. It's got still could be moving more downside for both XRP and ADA, and you'll have time.
Well, I think the idea is
if it starts moving back up
during the bear market.
Right.
What's going to have the best risk versus return? And to me, like, you just can't beat XRP. And when you're putting that money in, I would say 10,000 ETH, 10,000 XRP, 10,000 ADA. The reason why we are trying to put more money into ETH right now is because we already have a lot of XRP. If you don't have any, I think the risk versus reward there is heavily skewed to put money in XRP.
I guess what I'm saying is be careful buying alts right now because a lot of them have a lot further to go.
We just talked about this could go down to 42 cents or lower.
Right.
Right.
So make sure, there's going to be time to accumulate. So right now I'm watching and waiting a lot of different things for sure.
Well, yeah, but if we were to get the bottom, if we were to nail the bottom of all these coins, 10,000, 10,500, 5,000 is, I think, where you would want to go there. I mean, you could equally do all three of them, honestly, across the board. And you're going to do okay. But to me, XRP's got the most upside because of the suppression. Ethereum's got a ton of upside because of the event that's coming. XRP, the suppression from the last cycle, has got so much upside built in. Go ahead.
This one we kind of touched on at the beginning. If you were looking to buy Terra Luna during the bear market, is now a good time to start DCA, or is the news that hit make it not worth buying it?
No, I think it's definitely worth buying. I think that what you could kind of look at here with Luna is I think there's a good chance it heavily bounces back here, and that I think this could be the bottom of Luna. Honestly, I think this could be the bottom of Luna. I think it could bounce back heavy. And once that peg comes back, it could bounce back. And then it could head back towards these levels or slightly lower, throughout the rest of the bear market. But a 61% plunge overnight, basically, that's a pretty good entry point, I believe.
That's the definition of buying the dip. That's a real dip. This is an interesting one. Thoughts on basic attention token over the next bull run? I know I've got mixed feelings on it. Like
serial underperformer. Yeah. I don't think it's worth investing in.
I don't either. I'm pretty much done with it.
That's 180 degrees from where I felt in the beginning.
Same. I really like basic attention token as a product, but at this point, I mean, they've had an opportunity. They were set up well. This bull run did absolutely nothing. So unless they get acquired by another major Web3 company and gets rolled in, but I don't see, there's really not a lot of upside for Web3 to do that. They'll just make their own. So I would say the same. I'm kind of done with that. Even though at one point in time, for a long time, it was one of my most interesting crypto projects.
Well, the allure comes off a little bit when digital currency groups behind it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the, I think they made some, they had a big gaffe where they had taken some people. I can't remember what it was. There's a big problem they had about a year ago or a year and a half ago that was kind of counter to their message. So I don't
know. Will it be use cases that start the next bull run or just another round of speculation / trading to start the run?
Well, the bottom will start the next bull run. But if you're really looking for what most people consider to be that answer, the catalyst for the next bull run is the catalyst for the last bull run, and the catalyst for the bull run before that, the catalyst before that. It's the Bitcoin halving. That is the catalyst. People want to try to reinvent the wheel. They want to overthink. They want to come up with something that sounds so smart on why things are bullish. It's because you cut the production of Bitcoin in half. That's exactly what it is. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the show today. That's all I got. I don't think I yelled at anybody today. Be blessed. Good boy out.